sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Ohio.
The Indians are going streaking. They've won 9 in a row at home and 12 of their last 13 here at Progressive Field. The starting pitching during this stretch has been scintillating. Corey Kluber and Trevor Bauer have continued that trend against the Yankees. Next up for the Pinstripers, Danny Salazar, who has been overpowering since coming off the disabled list 2 weeks ago. The Tribe tries to make it 10 in a row at home. Next on Sports Time Ohio. Tonight's Indians-Yankees game here at Progressive Field is brought to you by Hankook Tires. And the red-hot Tribe rolling here at Progressive Field, looking to stay on that roll. It's Game 3 in this 4-game series between the Tribe and the Bronx Bombers. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. I don't know that we've ever seen the Yankees play sloppier than we have in the first 2 games of this series.
Well, anytime you give a team runs and they take advantage of it early, especially when you have Corey Kluber on the mound, they made 3 errors in the first 4 hitters in game 1 of this series, and the Indians had 2 runs in, and then all of a sudden last night they gave them a run, and then the Indians, on the other hand, they flipped it out. Giovanni Urshela was outstanding, playing third base, a couple of beautiful plays, saved a run, and actually turned that game around in the 5th inning.
Take a look at what the Indians have done during their 9-game home winning streak, averaging 7 runs a game. Normally that's enough, but when the starters are giving you a 2.39 ERA, it makes them almost unbeatable.
Everything's going their way, and it's turned in the second half. They've scored first in their last 8 games. That's been the MO for the Indians.
Danny Salazar gets the start tonight for the Tribe. Since coming off the DL, the opposing hitters have 4 hits and 42 at-bats against him.
He's been using his power fastball, a good 4-seam fastball, and he mixes in his nice changeup and an occasional breaking ball. But if he pitches from ahead in the count, he doesn't walk many hitters. He's a tough guy to square up and to hit, and that's why he has been so successful his last 2 starts, 13 innings. They're looking for another good outing from him tonight.
All right, it's Game 3 of this 4-game series. We'll be back with the play-by-play. We'll hear from Alan Jensen, and we'll check in with Andre Knott, who has more on Austin Jackson all straight ahead. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by W.B. Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. By your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by Nature Stone, the only concrete solution.
Tonight for the Cleveland Indians as he looks for his third straight solid start. After returning from the disabled list, he'll take on Jordan Montgomery as the Indians will look for their third straight win over New York and their 10th straight win here at home. Welcome back to center field along with Jensen Lewis. Al Pulowski just outside these gates, not too far away from us earlier today. We had the unveiling of the Lou Boudreau statue, a great ceremony. Over 70 members of his family were here, Jensen, and this was really a special time for the Indians organization, for Lou Boudreau, and for their fans.
And you think of the 15-year career for him, player manager from 1942 to 1950, won the AL MVP and World Series for the Indians. The last time they have crowned a champion here for baseball in 1948. And hopefully this year we get to party outside with the Lou Boudreau Tour.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Lou Boudreau manning shortstop throughout the entire decade of the 40s here for the Indians. Now we have a guy named Francisco Lindor who's manning shortstop as we welcome in Matt Underwood and Rick Manning. And guys, it's fun to watch. Look back at Lou Boudreau's career and then look what we have here with us today in Francisco Lindor.
No question about it. I mean, there's an interesting connection when you talk about the shortstop position. It is the premier position on the diamond. It's the one that draws most people's attention. So if you don't have a good shortstop, it sticks out like a sore thumb. If you do have a good shortstop, everybody notices that as well.
Yeah, you love your defense up the middle, and it all starts at short.
Speaking of defense up the middle, Austin Jackson has been a premier center field defender for a long time. With more on that, here's Andre Knott.
Well, he's definitely been a premier center fielder, and this year he's been a premier guy off the bench for the Indians. But Austin knows at his age and where he's at in his career, it's about more than just playing. It's what he can give back to his teammates when they're off the field, when they're in the cages, when they're watching video. And he learned that a while back when he was a New York Yankee. Here, in tonight's Hear Right Sounds of the Game, is Austin Jackson on being a leader.
Even from when I was in the minor leagues with the Yankees, and you could imagine going into a clubhouse with that many stars, I never acted or, shied away from asking questions. I was in the group, talking, laughing with these guys. Some guys looking at me like, get out. But that's just me because I wanted to learn. I wanted to be a part of the fellas. I wanted to, see how they went about their business on an everyday basis because I wanted to be there. I wanted to be, like I said, part of the team, one of those guys. So, coming up through the minor leagues and then getting a chance to break in with Detroit and play with some really good, talented veteran guys. I learned a lot from them and take a little bits and pieces from whether it's even pitchers, just taking things that they might tell me, on how they pitch guys, and hitters, and the things that they tell me they're thinking about the plate. I take little bits and pieces from all those guys and kind of try to mesh them a little bit with what I already have, and I think it's just made me a better player by doing that.
Every young player should have to listen to that soundbite because if you don't talk to the veterans, if you don't ask questions, how else do you learn?
Well, you don't, and no question is a dumb question. I mean, you want to find out what it's all about. They're willing to teach you, and they're willing to learn, and you might as well do it. Take advantage of the good pieces you have on your team. All right, it's time now to look at the starting pitcher, brought to you by Northern Ohio Honda Starters. It'll be Danny Salazar this year, making his 13th start, and in his last 2 starts, he has been outstanding. He is 1-0. He has struck out 16 batters in his 13 innings. Hitters are hitting just .095 against him, 4 for 42. So he has been locked in. He's been very aggressive throwing that fastball. And, we hope he can continue to do that. He's 1-1 in his career against the New York Yankees in 3 starts. So he's looking to win the 3rd straight game at home and keep the home winning streak intact. See if he can do that tonight in front of a sold-out house. Let's set the defense behind him, brought to you by Ram. I'm sorry, we'll go to the lineup first.
Well, here's the Yankees starting 9, brought to you by Hankook Tires. Brett Gardner leading it off, then Chase Headley and Aaron Judge. Didi Gregorius, Gary Sanchez, Jacoby Ellsbury in the middle. Todd Frazier, who homered last night for the Yankees' only run. Ronald Torres and Austin Romine rounded out.
Is it time now for the defense?
Yes, it is.
Let's go now. It's brought to you by Ram. It looks like this. Brantley in left, Jackson in center, Geyer over in right. Urshela's at third, Lindor at short, Ramirez at second, Santana at first, and Gomes behind the plate.
And Angel Hernandez will be calling the balls and strikes tonight. John Tumpane is at first, Sean Barber at second, Ted Barrett down at third. He's the crew chief. 73 degrees at game time. Not nearly as breezy as it was last night, but still a decent breeze. It looks like it'll help carry the ball out toward right and right center field as we get underway here tonight. The Yankees have lost 4 in a row to start a month for the first time since June of 2014. Danny Salazar winds it up, man. His first pitch is a little high, ball 1.
Yeah, their problems, Matt, scoring runs. Whether they scored 6 runs in the 4 games they've lost this month. Shut out twice.
The 1-0 pitch in there for a strike. Yeah, I mentioned the Yankees' only run coming on a home run last night by Todd Frazier. They did get a second run in that 9th inning on a 2-out single by Brett Gardner, but that's been it. Offensively, a solo shot in the first game by Gary Sanchez, another solo home run, and you know, offensively, that has to concern Joe Girardi. Yeah, they've hit a lot of home runs, but it is always difficult if you're just leaning on the home run ball to score.
Manufacturing a run is really what counts, because when you do go dry or you don't hit the home run, which, you know, they're 4th in the league, they have 157, but when you look at a close game, they're 11 and 20 in 1-run games. So that's when you have to manufacture and make something happen.
2-2 pitch, up and away, full count. Well, to your point, going into the All-Star break, only the Houston Astros averaged more runs per game than the Yankees. New York was averaging 5.6 runs a game. Since the All-Star break, New York has averaged less than 4 runs a game, and that's 13th in the American League. The payoff pitch to Gardner. And boy, that was close, I guess. Maybe a little low?
Well, it had to be low because it had the plate. So if anything, it was a little low. And it was beneath that front knee. It looked like it, but it had plenty of plate. But that's where you want to pound the zone down.
Now Chase Headley. And the switch hitting first baseman takes a strike. Headley is one Yankee that has continued to swing the bat well over his last 44 games. He's hit .329. Salazar missing inside 1-1.
Yeah, right now it's about commanding that fastball. That's all he's thrown, so he's got to get a feel for it, get that release point. Looks like we're going to get a little change up here.
The 1-1 had him out on the front foot, but pulled it foul.
You know, when Danny first came back off that disabled list in his first start coming against Toronto, he came out and I mean he threw 19 straight fastballs, and I mean he commanded them, and it was just, let's go, here we go, I'm coming at you. He didn't mess around. It was fantastic in that start. 7 innings, just the 1 hit allowed.
Now Brett Gardner over at first base has stolen 15 out of 18 on the year. And the 1-2 pitch swung on in and out of the glove of Gomes. And Headley stays alive for another pitch.
Yeah, the foul tip, you just can't control it. You hope it sticks, and it didn't hit in the pocket of Gomes' glove. You could see it hit up towards the end of the fingers, and it just bounced out, or he would have had a strikeout.
The Indians have allowed the fewest stolen bases in the American League, only 36 against. 1-2, swung on and missed. He struck him out, 1 down.
And he came back with a changeup and located it well down and in. Beautiful. You watch the bottom just fall out of that one. It looks like a fastball, and you got to get it geared for 95. Next thing you know, it's 87, and the bottom drops out of it. So Salazar gets his first strikeout.
Aaron Judge. Tried to hold up, but he went around. Strike one.
Yeah, you can see he hits out of that closed stance. He takes up pretty much all of that batter's box. And he's a guy that really has good plate coverage and a very good eye for a young hitter. He's at the 300 mark. Leads the AL with 34 home runs, but recently he hasn't been getting the base hits to right field like he was earlier in the year and staying on the baseball.
Smack to left, a base hit. And Gardner will stop at second. So Aaron Judge has his second hit in the series. And the Yankees have 2 on with 1 out.
Well, he threw the first fastball right by him. Then he comes with a changeup, and it's right down the middle. And he did damage to it. You know, he figured, okay, I got to get geared up because he had that swing at the first fastball. Not a very good one, but I think Danny helped him out there with the changeup.
Didi Gregorius. He can certainly hit the fastball. 2 for 8 in the series. And up and away with that fastball, and at fastball command a bit elusive here for Salazar in the early going. And it's 2-0.
You know, I think maybe a little bit erratic here. It's been 7 days since his last start. So he's had the rest, and right now he's searching for that fastball command, and that may have something to do with it early. You know, you may have a tendency to feel a little too strong, maybe overthrowing it a little bit. But time to settle down, and you know they've thrown a couple of changeups to maybe slow him down. But he has thrown 7 balls and 8 strikes out of his 15 pitches.
Didi Gregorius has batted .314 on the year with runners in scoring position. And he clobbers one to deep center field. Back is Jackson off the top of the fence. Gardner will score. Aaron Judge stops at third. It's an RBI double for Didi Gregorius. And the Yankees will play from in front for the first time in this series. And that also snaps a string in which Yankee opponents had scored first in 7 straight games against them.
Well, this ball almost went out of the ballpark. It was a foot from going out here, and he's a good low ball hitter, and there was the fastball down. Austin Jackson could not have played this any better. That hit the yellow line on the bottom part of it and comes right back to Austin. He gets it in. 1 run is in, but Gregorius, second and third, his 15th double, and give him his 54th RBI.
Well, here's Gary Sanchez. He's DHing tonight. He had a miserable evening behind the plate last night. Takes a strike.
This is a guy that will chase pitches as well. If you can get ahead of him. He's chased him every night, even though he's DHing tonight. Salazar hasn't broken out the curveball yet, or his slider. This may be a time to start if he gets the 2 strikes and look for the strikeout.
Up and away, 1-1.
There was a slider.
Sanchez has 8 hits in his last 26 at bats. And the 1-1 is up and in, knocked him off the dish. Danny really struggling to find any kind of consistent command here in the early going.
Well, right now he's not in rhythm, and you can see he's taking a lot of time out there, and it usually, you know, when he's in a rhythm, he works a lot quicker. So he's searching for it right now, for that fastball command.
Squibb foul the other way, 2-2.
There's another off-speed pitch.
It started with a walk to the leadoff man, Brett Gardner. Then after he struck out Headley, Judge singled to left. Gregorius almost hit one out of here off the top of the wall in center. And now a 2-2 count for Gary Sanchez.
Got him.
He's a pedestrian onlooker.
Yeah, that was a well-located fastball there, Matt, going away. I don't know if he was sitting on the breaking ball, but there's a nice 96-mile-an-hour heater on the outside part of the plate. So he gets the second out, and now a chance to get out of this.
That could be huge for Salazar's confidence.
Minimize the damage.
Well, Jacoby Ellsbury 0 for 2 the other night in the series opener with a walk. Did not play last night. Ellsbury just 3 for his last 22 at the plate. By the way, the Yankees, in those 7 straight games in which the opposition scored first, they lost 5 of those 7 games. To center field, Austin Jackson makes the catch, and Salazar survives. A little shaky, but only 1 run allowed. And now the Indians are coming to bat.
For tonight, brought to you by Hyundai Starters. And Montgomery making his 21st start, a record of 7-6, a 4.15 ERA. First time he has faced the Cleveland Indians. He struggled a little bit in his last 3 starts. This guy is 6'6". They have 7 Yankees that go at least 6'6" or better.
Well, the lineup he will face for Terry Francona and the Tribe is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Francisco Lindor had his 13-game hitting streak snapped last night. Brandon Guyer batting second. He's on a roll. Brantley is third. Ramirez in the cleanup spot. Edwin batting fifth. Santana, Austin Jackson, Yan Gomes, and Giovanni Urshela rounded out. So the Yankees get a run in the top half of the first, and that has been something that the Indians have been doing a great job of. They've scored first, or I should say had scored first in 13 of their previous 14 games, going 11-3 in those contests. But thanks to Salazar and the defense, limited New York to just a single run. And we'll see what they can do against Jordan Montgomery, who's missed on his first 2.
Yeah, Montgomery in the first half, he pitched very well. As I said, his first start against the Indians. He's 2-2 against Central Division teams.
And there's a strike.
Big, tall left-hander coming right over the top. There it is. Fastball. He has a good curveball as well that we'll see a lot tonight.
Now Montgomery, the line, and the 2-2. Bounced it in front of the plate. On the 4th of July, Francisco Lindor was batting .246. Since then, in 25 games, he's batted .343. That's 4th best in the American League during that time frame. Reaches out, punches it deep left down the line. That's going to stay fair into the corner. And Lindor into second base with a leadoff double. A lot of times, Rick, when you see a guy throw the bat out in front, he automatically hooks it. How did he keep that fair?
That's hard to tell. It was a changeup that was upstairs a little bit. He had the barrel out front, but he kept his hands through the hitting area long enough to keep that fair. You see, he had to finally let that top hand off the bat, but it came through the hitting area. And you can see out front, but it was elevated. Now I think that allowed him to hit it fair. And there's the start for the Indians with the leadoff double. And Lindor, that's his 30th.
And his 12th extra base hit in his last 25 games played. So he is heating up. And now Brandon Guyer. And he was going to try to bunt him over.
Well, Guyer's been swinging the bat well. We're in the first inning. I'd rather see him swing it here. I mean, and plus he goes when he's swinging the bat like he is now, Matt. He can go to right field. He can go to the right side. He doesn't have a problem. I think it's easier for him to go to the right side than it is for him to bunt, to be honest with you.
Well, his last 12 games he's batting .400.
That's why I'm saying don't give up an out here first inning.
Tried to bunt again and fouled it right back to the screen. So now he's put himself in the hole 0-2.
See, guys try to do that when they don't do it most of the year. You know, if you did it right from the start of the year and you keep going, it's fine. But when you get hot and you start swinging the bat and it's early in the game, you don't give up an out. But now he's going to have to battle, and you can't really try to hit the ball to the right side now when you're down in the count 0-2. You're just trying to put it in play.
Bounced it in the plate, in front of the plate, I should say. And nice job blocking the ball by Austin Romine. Romine has only allowed 2 passed balls this year, but his counterpart, Gary Sanchez, has allowed 12, and that's the most in the American League.
That's probably why this guy's catching tonight. Sanchez, he got beat up last night, you know, having to block balls in the dirt, wild pitches, pass ball.
Guyer shoots it out of play to the right. And Romine's going to go out. Well, Rick, that could be something that will be interesting to watch down the stretch for New York. With every game more and more critical, does Joe Girardi go to Romine more behind the plate and keep Sanchez in that DH spot?
Well, hard to see, hard to tell.
The 1-2, and Guyer is going to be out looking.
Now you see that was a call. That was the same one on Gardner, 3-2. That Salazar threw the fastball. This was a curveball going down, and it didn't look like it was high enough, but he gets the call. Let's see what happens.
Oh, no way.
That's what I felt. I mean, that ball was as low.
No way.
Even though it was a curveball, it looked like it might have been around the knee, but that was the same spot as about this fastball that Salazar threw. But it goes down as a called strikeout.
Well, now Michael Brantley. And he takes a breaking ball for a strike. Brantley batting .306 over his last 12 games. with 3 homers, 10 ribbies, and 10 runs scored. Little slow chopper. Gregorius charging, and he'll flip it over to retire Brantley. 2 down. Lindor moves to third.
Check the Yankees defense, brought to you by WB Mason. Behind Montgomery today, Gardner in left, Ellsbury in center, Judge is over and right. Frazier at third, Gregorius at short. There'll be Torres is at second, Headley at first, Romine doing the catching. And the New York defense has struggled in this series. They've made 3 errors in the last 2 games. They've made 9 errors in their last 7 ball games.
Jose Ramirez takes that first pitch breaking ball for a strike.
Looks like he likes to throw that breaking ball.
Ramirez with a ground ball to second. It's scooped up by Torres, and he'll throw him out to end the inning. Leadoff double does no damage. We played an inning. Yankees 1, Indians nothing. Take a look at our storylines tonight, brought to you by Wayside Furniture. The Danny Salazar fastball and locating it. He was erratic in the first inning. We'll see if he can get on track here in inning number 2. And against the Yankees, you don't want to be behind going into the late innings. They have put together a very dynamic bullpen. Danny calling for it. No, Santana was calling for it, and he makes the grab in foul territory.
When I heard that, I first thought it was Salazar too, until I looked down and saw Santana coming into play. I said, that's better.
Let's go down to Andre.
As you talked about the keys a little bit in the fastball versus his Yankees lineup, in the first matchup with Corey Kluber on the mound, they went into the game plan with the 2-seam fastball being the pitch. But because they weren't swinging at it, and because they were looking for the 4-seamer was able to beat them, they threw a ton of 4-seamers last night and the night before. They think that the Yankees have an issue with high heat, so look for Danny to try to use that to his advantage tonight and try to continue the trend.
Yeah, more slider speed bat.
Right.
Yes. And if you're the Yankees, look for him to get the fastball down. He just hasn't been able to command it.
There you go. 1-1.
Yeah, when he got his first strikeout, man. Sanchez, a nice 96 down and away.
And Torres chased one up and in. 1-2 the count.
It's not an easy fastball to catch up to. I mean, or to square it up. A lot of times you'll see a lot of people foul it off.
And he chases it again. Salazar with his third strikeout, 2 down in the inning.
Well, you're going to see him throw the fastball above the belt. Now, this is not a very big guy. He's about 5'9", 5'10", but he's swinging at that pitch that you're not going to be able to get on top of. The most you're going to be able to do is foul it off, and he couldn't do that.
Now the catcher, Austin Romine. And Danny settling in a little bit here. Good fastball in for strike one. And a foul right back quickly. 0-2 the count.
And you can see the tempo with Salazar now, much quicker. I know guys aren't on base, but he's getting it, and he's moving along.
A little high, and Romine not chasing. Routine bouncer to short. Lindor will throw him out, just what Danny Salazar needed. A quick 1-2-3 second inning. 1-0 New York.
MLB action with all your favorite MLB teams and players. Get RBI Baseball today for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and mobile devices. Learn more at RBIGame.com.
Edwin Encarnacion will lead off the home half of the second with the Indians down 1-0. Jordan Montgomery. Big curveball once again, first pitch, and he's throwing them for strikes.
Well, if you can do that for strikes, good way to get ahead of hitters and go to work. They've never faced him before, so that first time through the lineup, I think it'll be much like what it was with Garcia, who started against the Indians for the first time last night. And well, they know Sonny Gray, but you know that when you're not too familiar with a guy, you want to get a good look at him that first time up if you can.
Bouncing it on the right side. There was a big hole there, but Torre is able to run over and corral the slow chopper for out number 1. Injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. Jason Kipnis ready to return from the disabled list. He's here tonight. He was with the ball club last night. Had a hit in 5 trips to the plate. And we'll go down to Andre.
Well, Tito was happy that he went down and played one more game. He only had only had 9 at bats before last night. He said he wanted to get him as many at bats as he could before he got back up here. But the other thing was he had to face a lefty that was a knuckleball pitcher.
Oh.
Kip wasn't too happy about that, but he did get the run, got the triple. Everything is a go for him to get back with the team tomorrow and be in the lineup at second base.
I'm surprised. I never thought there were any knuckleball pitchers in the minor leagues, let alone a left-hander.
We got to send you down there to go report on him and find out what he's got going.
You got it.
Carlos Santana looks at the ball in the dirt. Santana 0 for 6 in the series, but 2 walks and 2 runs scored. And it's 3-0. Taking all the way, that's in there. There's the curveball. Santana swats it to deep left field, off the top of the fence. No, they say home run.
Yeah,
the third base umpire, Ted Barrett, the crew chief, signals home run, and Santana will get a chance to circle the bases. It must have hit the railing just above that yellow line and kicked straight down onto the field of play.
Yeah, I bet it did, Matt. That's hard to tell sometimes because it'll kick and come right back onto the playing field. And it's hard to tell if it hits that railing.
Oh, yeah.
But
when do you get a look at this, Arch? You're going to see it hit the railing and come straight down.
It's a curveball that Santana stayed back, but the curve was up. Let's see it over the yellow line. There it is. Yes, it was. It hit the railing, came straight down. Santana gets his 19th homer. Ties the ball game up.
And so the Indians, with one swing of the bat, have drawn even with the Bronx Bombers. Santana's 16th home run of the year. Give him now 59 runs batted in.
And the 16th home run given up by Montgomery.
Now Austin Jackson slices one foul the other way. Now that sort of makes up for the Indians' inability to get Lindor home in the first. During their 9-game home win streak, Tribe has batted an incredible .395 with runners in scoring position, but 0 for 3 in that first inning. But Santana gets him on the board here in the second. Austin Jackson, 10-game hitting streak. 6 games shy of his career best, which was set 5 years ago for him. And the 1-1 from Montgomery is up high. 2 balls and a strike. There's that curveball in there for a strike to even the count. Popped him up but out of play. Let's go down to Andre once again.
Well, the curveball, as you guys have seen early on, and anyone watching, is the pitch from Montgomery. And remember that 6-man rotation we were talking about ourselves? The Yankees have the same thing going, and some in their camp believes he's pitching for his role in that spot. He's throwing the curve coming in today 454 times, guys.
There's a smash to short, one hopper to Gregorius. 2 down.
He's thrown it 454 times. Guys are hitting only 202 off of it. That is his pitch and his bread and butter that he will live off of all night long.
Well, that's good. Then the second time, too, the Indians might be able to sit on that curveball a couple of times. He hung one to Santana, who tied the game up.
It's going to bring up Yan Gomes. Gomes 1 for 3 with a key 2-run double in the series opener. Not a play. Down in the dirt. And, you know, to Andre's point, the whole situation with New York, very similar to what the Indians went through. When you have a 6-man rotation, in theory, it sounds great. But Joe Girardi said the exact same thing Tito did, which is one bad game, and now your bullpen is in disarray. And down on strikes is Yan Gomes. But Carlos Santana just does clear the 19-foot wall in left, and we are tied at 1.
Yeah. We'll take a half a dozen up here, please. The booth is hungry.
Sausages for all.
Yes, indeed. I'm buying.
And a reminder, if you're enjoying a sausage, to also enjoy a Miller Lite. And stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. So we go to the third, and Brett Gardner leads it off, takes ball 1 down and in. First time through the order, Yankees were 2 for 8 against Salazar. He struck out 3, walked 1.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it was Gardner that he walked, the leadoff hitter. He came around to score.
But Danny, who needed 23 pitches to get through the first, only needed 9 pitches to breeze through that second inning. So that gets him back on target.
See, that's the thing that Danny has to, you know, improve upon, and he has since he's been off the DL. Is coming out and you try and get your 15 pitches per inning. Before he went on the disabled list, he averaged almost 17.8 pitches per inning. You know, since in the first 2 starts back, it's been 14. So that's a big difference if you can do that. But today he's had a little control problems early, just having a tough time finding strikes. He's searching for it though, as far as his fastball goes, but he's behind Gardner again.
And now full count.
And this is a guy that's going to make you throw strikes. He's a tough out, man. He drives pitchers nuts because he'll take pitches, he'll foul off a lot of pitches, he'll make you work. And the Yankees are the #1 team in the league in drawing walks. They have 411 as the team.
The 3-2. And he walked him again.
Well, you might want to bring the family down to the ballpark tomorrow. It's KeyBank Kids Fun Day. Also, fans, you will receive a baseball card set. That's courtesy of Topps. After the game, just stick around, let the kids run the bases. It's presented by Cleveland Clinic's Children's. Go to Indians.com for the tickets.
And go there quickly.
Yeah.
Because at last check, there was only about 1,000 tickets.
Oh, is that right?
Left
they're going? Okay.
For tomorrow's finale.
Busy weekend here.
Another sold-out crowd here tonight. 1-1 here in the third. Throw down to first, and Santana did a good job to pick that. Gomes was trying to throw around Chase Headley, and that's an awkward throw to make if you're a catcher.
You know, if Santana didn't have to try and pick it, he would have had him. But watch as he's raising his glove up. The throw was a little farther. He would have been able to tag him. You know, you can't go up and come back down with that tag like that when you're picking it.
And I think it was just the fact that he's in the batter's box. He's entitled to it, and Jan's trying to throw it around him, and he just couldn't get anything on it.
Yeah, he had him drifting off, no doubt.
I think Salazar might have. I'm not sure what happened there. Did he go to his mouth while he was on the rubber?
He might have been telling him that. Yeah, he went out to look at the baseball or give him another baseball and says, "Hey, you got to get off the rubber if you're going to go to your mouth." Or did he call a ball? No, he didn't. That might have been a nice way of telling him.
Don't do that again.
Exactly. Hey, if you want to step off the rubber, if you want to, go to your mouth, it's fine.
The 0-1. Ball and a strike. Yan Gomes has thrown out 47.8% of the would-be base stealers, best in the majors. Now that's independent of pitchers who get a guy that. That's just him throwing out base runners. Sometimes a pitcher will step off. You get a guy who's kind of caught halfway in between. That still counts as a caught stealing. Swing and a miss. He gets Chase Headley.
Again. Got him to chase a pitch out of the zone. Fourth strikeout. Nice pitch. That goofy changeup that he throws. You can see the split in the fingers. And that ball just dives down, and you're thinking it's 95, but it just never gets there.
And once again, same scenario as the first inning. Aaron Judge to the plate. And he had a good cut there, but fouled it back. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Our stat of the game tonight brought to you by Buick. Giancarlo Stanton moved ahead of Aaron Judge for the major league lead in homers, but he still leads the AL. And he's a rookie.
Yeah, he's had
and so is Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, that's two rookies on that list. Well, remember, he threw the fastball by Judge his very first time up on the first pitch and came back with a changeup, and he got the base hit to left field.
Yanked that changeup. And Gardner almost went too far, but he quickly put his foot in the ground and scampered back to first.
He thought that ball was going to get away from Gomes more than it did. That's the great job of Gomes, keeping it right there. You see, you read the ball in the dirt. He was off, and Gomes did a good job to keep it close. You know, you get that extra base if you can on balls in the dirt.
Danny with a 1-1 now, and Judge fouling it back.
That's where you want to pound him. Pound him at the belt, pound him inside where you can't get the hands or the barrel head of the bat out front. You see, they want it away, but you see that pitch gets back and it's above the belt.
Yeah.
And you just can't reach that pitch, especially with the velocity that Salazar throws it at. Not everybody can do that, but Salazar can. But I don't think Gomes, he was sitting away. Fastball away. Breaking ball, change up, fastball, fastball. Well, fastball away again.
And the 1-2 froze him. 5th strikeout for Danny.
They went through the sequence more than once, and Danny finally wanted that fastball away. He knew what he wanted to do. I'm going to throw a dart away, and it just locks him up. And maybe a pitch on the inside part of the plate could set that pitch up later in the count, but he doesn't pull the trigger. So Salazar with 5 punch outs now.
And now Didi Gregorius, who hit it off the top of the wall in center field in the 1st inning to drive home the Yankees' only run, and that fastball was away and he couldn't catch up to it.
Don't throw it down. He threw it down and he gave him swinging room the last time up, and he almost hit it out. It hit the yellow line. Elevate it to the left-hander here if you're going to throw that one.
Smoked it down the right field line. Foul! Oh, just by maybe a foot. Woo. He hammered that ball.
See how quickly he turned on that ball, don't you? Inside, and it just missed. That would have been interesting. That ball was hit so hard, and you're going to see how much it's fouled by, and it's not much. Look at him. He got the hands through that hitting area and just
less than a foot.
Yes,
maybe
indeed.
A few inches.
Yes, indeed. But he's ahead 0-2 now.
Now it's funny. We showed that slow-mo, and in the slow motion, he swings at it like it's a changeup.
Yeah.
At 96 miles an hour.
That's right.
Woo.
Talk about quick hands. Yeah. Well, that's the amazing thing. I said before, Gregorius was hitting 5th yesterday, and you can hit him. I think he hit 3rd in game 1. No, he hit 4th yesterday. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3. No, 5th and 3rd. So he's hit everywhere. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And this guy, he's having a solid season. Ball jumps off his bat for a shortstop.
The 0-2 got him up and away with a high heat. And Danny strikes out 3 in a row to end the 3rd inning after the leadoff walk to Gardner. Headley down swinging, Judge looking, Gregorius chasing. Salazar blowing some heat in that last inning, striking out 3 in a row, and we're joined now by El Presidente, Dennis Martinez, who knows a thing or two about striking out 3 in a row.
Well, I didn't do that too often. I was just more contact pitcher than anything else.
Yeah. Fun watching a guy, though, when he's got that kind of ability, when he puts it all together, isn't it?
Well, it is great. I mean, with that kind of arm that Salazar has, that's one of the problems too. That sometimes they get in the rhythm that they want to strike out everybody instead to go after the hitter and be minimize pitches, because that's what you need to do. But he's got the ability to do it, so why not?
Well, you see, you're exactly right. People want to strike out hitters now, and hitters want to hit home runs off pitches.
Correct.
Giovanni Urshela gaps one.
Yeah, there we go.
Cut off nicely by Aaron Judge. He's got a good arm, and he makes a strong throw to second, holding Gio to a long leadoff single.
It's okay. Good turn. Very aggressive. Make him make a good throw. So he steps up in a nice approach. Got the fastball away. Strokes it to right center field. And a nice cutoff by Judge on the backhand side to get it in quickly.
Dennis, when I think back to, when your career began playing for Earl Weaver, he was one of the first guys to really, use the bullpen a lot, matchup situations. But when you started, you didn't have the 7, 8-man bullpens that we see today. So a pitcher's job was a little different back then, wasn't it? You started the game thinking you had to go 8, 9 innings.
Well, Earl Weaver relied on good defense, good pitching, and 3-run dinger. That's what his philosophy was. So we had to prepare ourselves to be able to go deeper into the game. And so he made us the best that he can be, because we had a Palmer as a leader. That guy run as a hearse. I mean, he never got tired or anything. So we all tried to follow him. So we had a great people to follow. And so it was a great organization that they always believe in that. So we had to go and prepare ourselves mentally and physically to go long into the game.
And what you did, you would start when you first came up on 4 days rest. I mean, it was a 4-man rotation.
Correct.
When they had 10-men pitching staff. So you pitched anywhere from 290 innings all the way down to 260. So you were giving your innings out. So that's why you had to minimize pitches, right?
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, and that's why we prepare ourselves that you're right. In 1979, I pitched 292 innings. I led the league because we started like about 40 games every year. Because we had to go every 4-man rotation. So it was not easy, but we got used to, because how you prepare yourself. You got to be able to be mentally tough to be able to go back right away. The sooner the better. But we got used to that, and we pitch better when we're more used to that rotation, the 4-man rotation. So it was great, good time, good days. And we pitched a lot going to the 9th inning with 125 pitches, 130 pitches, and we were able to bounce it back in 4 days. So we got used to that, and our body and everything else, so we were, pretty good in shape.
Do you think that helped you later in your career, all those innings, the way you built up the arm strength? Because when you came to Cleveland, you were still able to, go out there and make 30-some starts a year.
Well, you see, everything is gone from day one. How you prepare yourself, how you have the foundation going, and so I was doing the same running, even more, but because as older you get, you got to get better endurance. So I was continuing to do the same preparation that I did with the Orioles. So that's basically what it got me going, to be able to go deeper into the game. Plus, that's what John Hart brought us here, to be able to count and ourselves to be able to take deeper into the game and hold the lead.
245 wins, 100 wins for 2 different ball clubs, well, Hasse caught your perfect game in Montreal. He caught one here with Len Barker. That's pretty impressive. But I mean, that's a great career now. And I was happy to hear you say, we'd go to the 9th, sometime 125 pitches. Now you get to that 100 pitch mark, and these guys, they don't let them stay around much anymore, no matter what inning they're in.
Well, just because they have too many pitchers in the bullpen. So they paid a lot of money to those guys.
Yes.
Contrary that when we were playing that, they were able to, the starting pitcher, they were making the money, but the reliever, they were not getting enough because they were not able to pitch too much.
But they weren't good enough to start, so they went to the bullpen.
Exactly. I mean, and that's exactly right. He's got, because that's how I started myself too, in the bullpen. I have to earn my spot to be able to go into the start rotation. So, but at the same time, it was something that we really went through the process all the way from the minor league to the big leagues and build it up all the way through it. So, that's how it goes.
That's beautiful. And how many packs of cigarettes would Earl Weaver smoke? Could you hear him yelling over there or something if you'd walk somebody or walk 2 guys in an inning?
Hey, we were really concentrated when Stanhouse coming in.
Oh, that's what I was thinking about.
That was the man that really drove Earl crazy, because every time that Danny was coming to the game, he smoked like about 12 cigars and 3 outs. And that was the longest one that we saw. That guy smoking one after another one.
I used to get a kick out of that. You could see him and hear him from over in the dugout when you were on the field and see that.
Yes.
You know, he'd throw 2 balls to me if I was up at the plate. He'd say, "What are you doing? This guy can't hit. Throw him strikes." You know, it was beautiful.
He was the guy that he really make you going. He go after the umpire where they don't make his own call for you in our side, and sometimes he was in trouble because there was
right at Gregorius and throw back to first, not in time. 2 away.
There was an umpire sometimes that tell us, "Hey man, tell Earl to shut up because we were not going to call you guys a strike the closest pitcher because he's battling us too much." I go, so we're going back to tell Earl, leave those guys alone. Hey, shut up, go back out there and pitch. So we had to stay quiet. But then that guy, he was more into the game when we were going into the good rhythm, winning a lot of ball games. When we were in slumping, he didn't say nothing.
Oh yeah,
he was crazy. So I don't know how he did it, but that was something that I was looking every time that we were going on the slump. So he didn't say nothing. Everything was quiet in the dugout. But you couldn't see him when we were dealing.
Brantley sends a routine fly ball to right, and we'll continue with Dennis Martinez as we head to the 4th. 1-1 our score in Cleveland. Here at Progressive Field, and we're happy to be joined by Dennis Martinez in town this weekend for this series. And Dennis, I'm curious, when you came to Cleveland at that point in your career, did you enjoy the role of working with the younger players? I mean, you had Charlie Nagy, Mark Clark, I think Albie Lopez and Chad O.J. were probably just getting their first taste of big league action. Did you enjoy trying to work with them and help them along?
Well, yes. I just remember the time when Jim Palmer and Mike Cuellar, when I was with the Orioles, that they took me under the wing. So I was trying to do the same thing that they did to me with those young guys because they were desperately needing some help. And they want us to eat our brain and, you know, and find out or figure it out with our experience to how to be able to pitch at the big league level.
Up the middle, cut off by Salazar and a shattered bat. Retires Gary Sanchez 1 away.
And we just tried to get back whatever we received in those times. So we developed a great relationship. They were able to, we communicate real well with them. And we took them under our wing also in the same way. We made them feel that they were part of the staff. We were not the only 2 or 3 guys. No, there's everybody together. And I think that was the key for us to be able to turn around this city because I love it. You know, I had a great time. We enjoyed it. The people were good with us, and we give it back to whatever they deserve. So that was great year that I will never forget.
Yeah, well, and a lot of people forget that pitching staff led the league in ERA.
Yes.
You know, they talked about the offense, they talk about the home runs, but the pitching was dominant too.
Well, what's new? Always the hitters. Always the hitters. They always take the credit for it.
Well,
you know? But it's okay. It's okay.
Right.
We just took under the win, you know?
Hey, as tough as it is to hit, they take the credit, but the game is all about who's on the hill, and that dictates what goes on.
I agree 100% because that's what happened when we faced the Atlanta Braves in the 1995 World Series.
Right.
Why they beat us? Because good pitching.
Well, and an expanded strike zone.
You're right.
Yeah, I mean, they were getting pitches this far
Big
off the plate.
time. Well,
but they could hit their spots, and
that's
they got
the reputation that you get when you're always in the strike zone.
I agree.
You see, like this kid, Salazar, he didn't get a couple pitches early in the game because he was just nailing some pitches, you know, a little bit like that. So when you get that reputation, the umpire, they don't give it to you, but when you got to earn it. You got to earn it.
And let me ask you something. Nowadays, and I know you still follow baseball and you watch a lot of it. Do you see a difference in the strike zone today than what it was when you pitched?
Oh, big time, big time. I mean, I don't know what I will do.
They don't call a high strike anymore, do they?
No. But there's some pitches too that I see some breakable way high. They call it strike, and I go, wait a minute. If I threw those pitches in my time, that would ended about 600 feet over.
Hitters don't swing at it
exactly. They don't swing it anymore.
That's right.
But those years they will be way out there. So it is crazy, but it is what it is.
It's different, right?
Yes.
I mean, sure, everything changes and everything revolves, but it's a smaller strike zone now.
Right, it is. But you see, everything go to just be able to throw a strike. I mean, if you as a pitcher, you just believe in yourself and try and challenge the hitter, you know, making pitches.
Down on strikes is Ellsbury. That's 7 Ks for Salazar. 2 down in the inning. Let's take a look at some of Danny's
you break down the
handiwork
strikeouts here from Salazar. He has 7 of them. Wow. Changeup. Fastball away. Rides the four-seamer. Changeup.
Fastball.
Yes, indeed.
Another one.
High fastball, yeah. And there's the changeup. So that's a nice combination there, isn't it?
Well, that's what he needs to have. I mean, if he's going to succeed, he has to have that changeup and that fastball going every single time. You know, because his breakable is good. It's good enough, but he don't use it that much.
Right.
So he needs, well, you see the kind of guy with that fastball, man. I mean, Amber will go right after those guys in and out. That's why you get in and out, throw your changeup, and occasionally your breaking ball. Because I think his breakable is the 3rd best pitch for him.
You're right. And you know what? Your fastball in and out is like 2 different pitches, isn't it?
It is. It is.
And I don't think a lot of young pitchers understand that.
No, they don't. But in hitters, they don't like to see that. In and out. They don't like to be moving
back
around.
And forth.
Right.
That's
They don't like to do that.
The 1-2. Down and away. Wouldn't chase.
To me, that's what one starter has to do. You have to have a go-to pitch if you fall behind 2-0 or get 3-1. The go-to fastball, and if you can locate it down and in, or you know, up and in, down and away, wherever you have to locate it, both sides of the plate.
You see, he has to strike him out 2 guys or 3 guys with a fastball right in the middle of the plate. And why? Because he shake. When you have to play some games sometime with the catcher and the hitter, because a lot of time when I want to throw the fastball and maybe the catcher called fastball right away, I shake him off just for the hell of it.
That's what he did.
He struck him out. He struck him out.
Gregorius.
The big boy. Yeah, Gregorius and the big boy.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge. Yeah. And another one too. It was somebody with the fastball right in the middle of the plate too. Sanchez. He shook him off.
There it is.
He did it again.
Yes. I mean, the hitter, they think that he got to come back with the with the breaking ball or a splitter. So, and if he's been using the fastball because he's shaking off the sign, make the hitters aware that, you don't want to throw a fastball. They're going to go with the breaking ball.
Dennis, great catching up with you, man. Always a pleasure.
Pleasure, my friend.
A pitching clinic here tonight. Jose Ramirez leading off and takes a strike.
A little cockeyed. Oh, that's the second time this year.
Stepped on my glasses for the second time.
I don't mean to be
year.
laughing
No.
because I know. I mean, you have very expensive glasses, but that's the second time.
Oh, they're really bent now.
We'll take care of it. We're going to send the bill to Martinez.
All banged up.
El Presidente.
Well, he's the president. He ought to be able to give me a new pair of glasses, right?
He can.
Foul right back.
Well, let's see if the Tribe can get back on the board and get Salazar a lead. He looks like he's starting to lock it down a little bit.
Jose Ramirez awaits the 1-2 pitch from lefty Jordan Montgomery, and he went too far. Montgomery has his 4th strikeout tonight.
I tell you, Dennis Martinez is fun to talk to.
Yeah.
And he loves the game. He was a tremendous pitcher. And there's another curveball that you're going to get a swing and a miss here.
Obviously, I didn't get a chance to see him when he was at his best.
Oh, yeah.
But when he came to Cleveland, what I saw was a guy who was just a fantastic competitor.
Well, he came to Cleveland when he was about
He was 40
years old.
But he still went out and he competed his tail off every time he pitched.
Has. He was a competitor, and you know, we came up the same era. We're the same age. I faced him. His first year was 75, like mine was, and he lasted a lot longer because he pitched till he was 97
What
or
was
98.
his last year?
97 or 98, something like that. So, and he's not a very big guy.
No.
Never was.
Edwin Encarnacion cuts and misses. It's 1-2. He hadn't a pitch until 98, so
23 years.
44 when he finished.
Yeah, he pitched for 23 years. And you think that's easy to do? That is not easy to do. And he went through that steroid era.
Yeah.
And being his size, he was you talk about a tough competitor.
And Edwin goes fishing. Back-to-back strikeouts now for Montgomery, and he's fanned 5 on the night. Dennis Martinez had more than 120 complete game efforts.
Yeah. Well, again, as we talked, that the game was different back then.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and that's why he says, you know, if he wanted to strike out, he could have, but you pitch to contact because you got to, you know, get easy outs if you can. That's how you complete games and go deeper into this ballgame. If some of these guys with the arms that they have could understand that, the way they throw the ball and the stuff that they have to, you know, get some outs on 3 pitches or less. Corey Kluber does a tremendous job in that category, and that's why he's always 7, 8 innings in a ball game, and he has 3 complete games this year. That's unheard of for one pitcher nowadays.
Now the 1-1. But have hitters changed in terms of approach,
Sure.
making that more difficult for pitchers to do, even if they tried to get early contact? I mean, it seems to me that hitters take more pitches now than maybe they ever had before.
They probably do. You know, well, you've gone through the era of let's get the guy to 100 pitches early and foul off pitches.
Right to third base, and the Indians go quickly here in the 4th. Montgomery has set down 6 straight, and we are tied at 1 headed to the 5th. Indians baseball is brought to you by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. And by your Northern Ohio Honda dealers. Made in Ohio, Ohio proud. The Lou Boudreau statue unveiled today before the ball game. The player manager of the 48 tribe. Nice ceremony before the ball game today. Back out of play.
Yes, Lou Boudreau. How about he was a player manager at age 24? Can you believe that? I think it was like his 3rd year in the major leagues.
Foul back. Indians have a nice little heritage of player managers. I think about Nap Lajoie,
right?
Lou Boudreau, of course Frank Robinson,
right?
You know the barriers he broke. Little jam job back up the middle. The second baseman Ramirez will throw him out. Go down to Andre.
Well, talking about Lou Boudreau being a manager at a player manager at such a young age, I talked to Tito about it before the game, and to him, he just could never imagine actually playing and managing and talking to a guy and then being in a locker next to him. And then we made the joke. He goes, "Did they even have an office? Like, how did you deal with a guy? Did he have, you know, when you go back that far?" And he also, I think a lot of fans forget this or don't remember or don't know. He played for Pete Rose a year after Pete Rose had managed and played. And he talked about that a little bit, and just how odd it was to be around a guy who you knew could play probably better than you. Because if you remember, Tito was probably the 25th man on the Reds back then.
Right.
And he said that year after that Pete stopped playing, one day Pete went out and took batting practice, and everybody was oohing and ahhing. And Tito says he walked back to the clubhouse with his head down going, "If this guy wants to play, that means I'm going to lose my job."
Yeah, Pete Rose is a heck of a player for a long time.
Well, and you know, you think about a guy like Lefty O'Doul, who is a great minor league player and manager. He also turned out to be a heck of a hitter in the big leagues. Started out as a pitcher, made his mark more as a hitter in the big leagues. But Lefty O'Doul later in his career, when he was a player manager in the minor leagues, I don't remember how old he was. He was in his 40s. Every once in a while, he'd just say, "Hey, I need to get some at bats." He'd jump in there, double, triple, homer, boom, boom, boom. Some guys just have the ability. They can sit on the bench,
they can
manage,
separate it,
watch the game, and then just step in at a moment's notice and deliver.
Well, of course, the game was much different back then than it is now. I mean,
it demands now.
It was a sport, and now with the media, and just the way it goes, it's so much different.
The 1-1 to Gardner. I mean, think about
the fields, the way you travel, everything.
Back in those days, you probably had a general manager, an A scouting director, and a farm director. Now there are multiple people in organizations that managers have to meet and interact with and have meetings. And
the one thing they did have, though, were a lot more teams in A-ball. They had Class D. They had so many minor league teams, that would play for nothing.
Matt, everything you just mentioned is why Tito said it can never happen today. All the different people you need to meet with and talk with daily. He says, "I just don't think you can concentrate on playing."
Up the gut, and Gardner has a base hit. It's only the 3rd hit for the Yankees in their first since the first inning. Danny Salazar had retired 8 straight, but he hasn't been able to retire Gardner tonight.
Exactly. He gets did that hit off the heel of Salazar, I think? Hit off the heel of his shoe and ricocheted into center field. Yeah, he walked the first 2 times, now gets a 2-out base hit. This may be a time you may see him steal, because Headley has not had any luck against Danny. He's 0 for 2 with 2 punch-outs.
And Yan Gomes may have gone out to discuss that very point with Salazar. We'll see if the run game is in play here. 1-1 game in the 5th. Fastball strike. 97. Cuts it loose and gets ahead of him.
Well, he's been able to get Headley 2 times with that changeup. So now that first pitch, you throw the fastball by him, and Headley's probably saying, man, I should have swung at that. Because that's what you want to look for off Danny. Fastball in, now a breaking ball. Slider.
One and one.
But you see, he's taking him off, I think, the pitch he wants to go to get him out again, which is the changeup. So he went fastball, and instead of throwing him another changeup here, he wanted to show him something different and go with a slider. There you go, paying attention to him at first. Gardner has stolen 15 out of 18.
The Yankees' current 4-game losing streak has coincided with Boston's 4-game winning streak. So New York has gone from first place to 3 games out in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, when you lose and the team above you wins, it can happen in a hurry.
Well, it happened to Minnesota. Remember, they were right there for most of the year. And both the Indians and Royals went on 9-game win streaks. Twins stumbled, and the next thing you know, they're 7 out.
Yeah, they lost 4 or 5 straight.
The 1-1 swung on and missed. He cannot catch up to Danny Salazar's fastball.
Well, that's it. The fastball's by him, and the changeup's too slow, and it's got good break to it. So he's like he's having fits right now. I'm looking at the American League East and the difference. Boston been playing pretty well, and New York's been going the other way.
Tampa Bay still hanging in there too. The 1-2 pitch came with another changeup. This one skied into center. Austin Jackson makes the catch. Danny Salazar, who's retired 14 of the last 16 Yankees. Beautiful night here at the ballpark. Bottom of the 5th. It'll be the bottom third of the Indians order. Jordan Montgomery has made 58 pitches. 40 of those have been strikes. And that's 10 first pitch strikes.
I'll tell you what, the second time through this lineup, this guy's been lights out. He's thrown 24 pitches, 18 strikes so far, and this is the 7th batter. So he is pounding the strike zone this time through.
Back out of play.
He's got a nice rhythm going too with his fastball, curveball, and a changeup not bad either.
Oh, 2 breaking ball in the dirt, and that's 6 strikeouts for Montgomery. In-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Yankees scored first in the first when Didi Gregorius just missed a 3-run homer, and how big does that look right now? Stayed 1-0 until the second when Santana slugged a solo homer just above the wall and left to tie the game, and that's where we're at.
Well, that's a good thing, because Gregorius's ball that hit that line, if it goes up another 6 inches, that's 3 runs instead of 1. And Salazar was able to minimize the damage in that inning.
Yan Gomes pops one up, foul ground. Frazier
better run.
Now Gregorius, and Gregorius makes the catch. 2 down. Great clip of the game from last night. Giovanni Urshela with a defensive clinic.
Well, that play there, he did not have a really good lane to throw the ball. He had to throw it over him, and he's lucky that Torres wasn't that tall, because he was obstructing his view. But what a really great play that was. It really turned the game around, I think.
Well, also, it goes back to what you've always said about playing the outfield, and that's what that's why he made that play, because he knew what was going on before the ball was hit to him. Because he told Andre after the game, I knew Clint Frazier was running, so he knew who was at bat. He was paying attention. That guy runs well. He's fast. I knew once I went into foul ground, I had no chance to get him. My only play
was home.
Yeah,
and that's knowing the situation before it comes about and just reacting. And boy, did he do a beautiful job reacting.
But the Indians cannot react to this breaking ball of Jordan Montgomery. It has been vexing so far tonight. He has struck out 7 and has set down 9 in a row. They have settled in nicely here tonight.
Boy, look at that.
Jordan Montgomery has retired 15 of the 18 batters he has faced tonight. And after Danny Salazar had a couple of hits and a walk out of the first 4 batters, he's set down 14 out of 16.
Nice matchup, huh? You didn't know what you were going to get. First time that Montgomery's faced the Indians. He's been lights out. Salazar coming back with another nice start as well.
Montgomery has struck out 7. Danny's fanned 8. Aaron Judge 1 for 2. Lays off the breaking ball away. 1-1 or 2-0. Excuse me. It's a fastball away, and it's 2-1. And another good fastball from Salazar. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Danny has been able to get Judge to go after the high fastball tonight.
That's the tough one to lay off because you see the ball coming out.
Even at 6-7.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, to lay off that pitch is tough to do.
Got in on him, popped him up. Is it playable?
Yes.
Down in the foul ground is Santana, and now Geyer can't get there, and Judge gets another pitch at least.
Yeah, it was just a tough go for everybody. I don't think anybody could get there, and everybody ended up looking. See where Geyer had to come. He's playing him deep out in right field, and then Ramirez actually got in his way. He almost cut his angle off to where he couldn't keep going to get it, but it's just a foul ball. With 2 strikes today, Yankees 0 for 11 when Salazar's been able to get to 2 strikes. I think they came in from Western New York, a couple of the judges.
Low and away. Now time called. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. Number 9 for Danny Salazar. And you could see the patience of Aaron Judge wore off in this at bat.
Well, there you go. You see the changeup. It's away. And see, that's a pitch I thought it was a slider when he first threw it until I saw the hand out there. That's a changeup that ran away, and it seemed like it went off the more of his index finger than anything else, and it ran like a slider. But it was a changeup. Gets another strikeout. Number 9.
Now Didi Gregorius and taking ball 1. Popped him up back out of play. Gregorius had a 10-game hitting streak in the month of July. And he also hit 7 homers in July, which is the best home run month he's ever had in his career. And I can see why, the way he has swung the bat in this series. Now, he doesn't have a lot of gaudy stats, but just when you watch him, that quick bat. Launches that one to deep right, but that's foul.
Second time. You know, for this guy, you gotta give him credit when you think about it, because he took over being a shortstop in New York after Derek Jeter retired. And you know, not many guys could go in there and try and fill that void, and he's not trying to fill it. But boy, you don't hear him say that we really miss Jeter like they could be. This kid has done a nice job, and he's turned himself into a very good baseball player.
The 1-2. Just threw his bat at it, and he's going to plug the gas.
That's a great piece of hitting right there.
Brantley cuts it off, but it's too late. Gregorius into second with a 1-out double.
That pitch had to be elevated a little bit, because even though he was fooled, he was able to keep his hands backing up and slap it the other way. Let's see where it's located. Off the dish. That was outside. And look at him. That's a nice 2-strike approach. Great hitting. So that's his second double today. He has half of the New York hits. He's 2 for 2 with 2 doubles.
Well, that ends Danny Salazar's streak. He had not allowed a 2-strike hit in 17 straight innings in which he had pitched. That was the longest active streak.
Well, I'll tell you what,
how can you blame him there, right?
Exactly. He earned it. Yeah. You tip your cap to that guy.
Down low, ball 1 to Gary Sanchez.
It was not a strike that he hit. It was off the plate. It was out of the strike zone.
Zipped one inside, almost nicked him.
Well, he's looking down to see if he's missing any tattoo. But it's still there.
Maybe a few arm hairs. Well, are they going to challenge this?
Well, if the hitter doesn't drop the bat and tell him to go, I don't see they're going to see anything on camera.
This is one of those ones almost impossible. It's almost impossible to challenge that because the video replay isn't. You can't slow it down enough to see.
Exactly, and plus the hitter never reacted like it hit him.
The 2-0 is up high. Maybe if we had the old Phantom cam, maybe that would slow it down enough to where you could see it graze somebody's forearm at 96 miles an hour.
You know, when I see swings and things like that, it's hard to see if it tips the bat. Full straight there.
So a one-out walk puts 2 on, and we'll take a timeout here. Al Pawlowski has a game break.
All right, Matt, Rick, interesting game today. Dodgers and Mets. It's our showstopper in New York. New York got 3 solo homers off Rich Hill in the first, and then that was it. The Dodgers went for 5 homers, including Corey Seager's 19th of the year in the 9th inning. L.A. now has won 43 of their last 50 games since June 7th. They are on some kind of a roll, aren't they? They're another winner again today, 7-4, fellas.
Wow. They're playing like it's Little League over there.
That's their 78th win on the year.
43 out of 50. Very impressive.
Mickey Callaway, meantime, talking it over with Salazar. Zach McAllister begins to heat up. 90 pitches on the night for Danny.
Ellsbury, a guy that can run a little bit with speed. If you're looking for a ground ball double play, he's grounded into 5.
Good fastball. Threw it by him. And he does have 3 ground ball outs tonight. 2 of them to Lindor, 1 to Ramirez. Ellsbury is flied out, struck out. And a count 1-1. Too tall. 2 balls and a strike. Outfield straight away for Ellsbury. Infield pretty much straight up as well. And the bouncer foul.
Danny had that trouble in the first, but boy has settled down nicely since that point. Now he's trying to fight his way through the 6th inning. After a double, made a good pitch to Gregorius, and then the walk to Sanchez.
The 2-2 right at Lindor.
There it is.
He'll go to Ramirez on the first. Double play. They got him. Danny Salazar gets the 2-for-1 ball to get out of the 6th. Frankie with a quick flip to Hosey, and he put it right on Santana to end the inning. Yu Darvish in his Dodgers debut. How about that? 10 strikeouts.
Yeah.
3-hit shutout
No
baseball.
runs. Yep.
This was an awesome story, though. How about Boogie? At age 44, oldest pitcher to go the distance since Jamie Moyer did it at age 47 back in 2010.
Well, I'm sure we'll get a chance to see him when we go play Minnesota here on the next road trip.
Well, Jordan Montgomery's day is over. The Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen has been made for David Robertson. And Rick, I think most fans are thinking, wow, they took him out after only 5 innings. Explain why.
Well, he's a young pitcher. He's had a tough. He was coming off his shortest start of the year, but he was brilliant today. Just 3 hits, gave up a run. His first time through, he threw 66% strikes, but the second time he threw 30 pitches through the 9 hitters and had 24 strikes for 80%, and that's enough. They want to go to their bullpen that they have. They've got a loaded bullpen, so it's a 5-inning game for them, and they're saying, okay, we're in better shape, but I think this is going to help the Indians here. Montgomery was really good.
Well, and here to kind of further your point, last year was the most innings Montgomery had ever pitched at 139 in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
And he's at 115 already this year.
Yeah, they're protected. He's 24 years old, you know, so they're not going to burn him out, especially with the bullpen that they have and the good arms that they've got coming out of there. Only 5 games out of his 21 starts that he's made has he gone over 100 pitches. So 60, does it seem a little short? Yes, but they know him better than we do.
Lindor launches one deep right. Judge can't get it. Short hops the wall. Frankie jams on the brakes.
That's
and
good.
Hold
that's okay.
with a long leadoff single.
Hey, that's okay. You have to hold up. Every base runner is very important in this ball game. He smokes it. I don't know if this is a cutter down and in there or a fastball, but he got on top of it. It short hops the wall, and it's a good thing he did stop because Aaron Judge throws a seed to second base, and he might have been a dead duck if he tried to run there. So you get your leadoff man aboard.
Yeah, I thought maybe on the short hop when it kicked up in the air, he had enough time, but.
Yeah, but he gets it at 18 feet in the air. He's so tall in right field. The normal guy wouldn't have been able to do it.
But you don't want, as you said, you don't want to take a chance there and have the rally squashed before it has a chance to get started.
Same thing Urshela did back in the 3rd inning. He hit one into the gap. He was thinking too, but he had to put the brakes on. That's okay. You think double, but sometimes you have to just stop. You're the leadoff hitter.
Geyer showing bunt again. This got him in trouble in the 1st inning. He tried to bunt Lindor over, and it was eventually called out on strikes after 2 failed bunt attempts.
My problem with the bunt the first time up, it's the 1st inning. The first hitter doubles, and you don't want to give the left-hander an out because he wasn't settled in yet. You know, he didn't have his control. Now when the game's 1-1 and you're getting later in, okay, and he's already in scoring position, and Geyer has been hitting the ball very well, and he can take it the other way. That's the only problem I had with it early. Now the game's getting close. It's on the line late in the ball game. That's fine. I can see it happening.
Michael Brantley waits on deck. He squared, pulled it back, and it's called a strike. I don't think Geyer and Angel Hernandez are on the same page now. That's the second time Hernandez has called a low pitch a strike on Geyer. First time he rung him up on one.
And what do we say when you're trying to sacrifice is make sure you get a strike, and he thought he was, but it was called a strike, so there's nothing you can do about it. He's hosed there.
Lindor has stolen 7 out of 8 on the year.
Well, and he's quick to the plate because he's not lifting his leg, he's sliding. That time he did it.
And he missed with it. Should be 3-0. 2 balls and a strike, though, for Brandon Geyer. So now he looks down at Mike Sarbaugh, and maybe they take the bunt off.
Yeah, I always felt, though, if you're going to bunt, let's go. Go to the bunt. You know, guys don't handle a bat like they used to, or they're able to put it in play. As like a hit and run is what we're thinking or talking about here.
Swings away and swings through it. It's 2-2.
This is a cutter. Robertson has a good one. He has a good curveball. And you get the swing and miss.
Looped. Shallow center. Coming in. And Ellsbury dives and makes a fantastic catch to rob Geyer of a would-be bloop single.
He had a long way to go, and he finally did get there. I wasn't sure, and neither was Lindor. That's tough for a base runner. You got to go at least a third, if not a half of the way. Look at Frankie. He's sitting there, and he's making his decision. Yes. And then he breaks back. That's good base running there by Lindor. And you just have to wait and see if he's going to hold on and catch that ball. And he had a long way to go, but he makes the play for the first out.
Ellsbury landing hard on that right knee. I thought it was just a straightforward dive, but he actually landed hard on that knee before corralling the ball for out number 1. Now Michael Brantley, 0 for 2 tonight. Low, ball 1.
I'm open.
I'm guessing if unless Lindor feels like he can steal this standing up. Nope, he bluffed the move that time. He wants to keep the hole open for Brantley, but maybe he looked like he was legitimately going there, but he didn't like the jump he had.
Then you don't go. I agree. You just stop. This guy, he's changing his slide step to where he's picking it up, and he's paying attention to go back. Some guys that do that, they're tough to run on, and you don't want to be thrown out on the bases. If you're not 100% sure, you don't go now. It's the 6th inning. You can't make any outs on the bases.
And a foul back by Michael.
He's about 1-2-5 to home plate, which is just a little better than average.
Quick question for both of you guys. Do you think for a guy like Robertson going from being a closer for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years to being a guy in the 6th inning, how does that, we've seen this change, but do you think that affects a start or a guy that was a closer coming into this situation?
Good question, Andre. When you're changing teams, I think you're willing to pitch at any time, even though he's being paid closer money.
And he's been on this organization before, so there's not as many new things for him as far as the staff is concerned. Obviously some different teammates.
I know we watched Andrew Miller do it last year, but the transition isn't that easy, and he wasn't just closing last season.
1-2 is in the dirt.
I would agree with that, but that's where you have to change your mindset if you're the player over there. I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting to close, but you have to look what they have. They've got Chapman. They got Patantis before him.
Yeah, like 3 closers.
Exactly. They've got arms. That's why I think Girardi took the starter out, Montgomery out after 5 innings, because they have so many arms like this.
I only brought it up, Arch, because we've heard so many closers that when they come to the game and it's not a save situation, they can't get pumped up the same way.
I got you.
Lindor takes off. Brantley shoots it into left field. Frankie stumbled going into second base. I was just hoping he was okay. He went awkwardly into second base.
Well, he was thinking of sliding, and he might have been decoyed. He was off and running, and I don't know if he peeked back. I wasn't watching. Brantley did a beautiful job to hit that, but he might have hyperextended some. Watch. This is a great job by Brantley hitting that baseball, and you can see Romine coming out. Frankie, he did not look, and he's going to try and hold up. And yeah, that might have hurt a little bit. Let's see here. He never looked back. Straight steal.
Oh, Didi Gregorius.
He decoyed him, and then yes, he did. He hyperextended that knee a little bit. Watch his it slides on him. He's lucky there. That's the decoy you put on a guy that's coming into second base, like he didn't hit it.
Two on, 1 out, Jose Ramirez. He's 0 for 2 tonight, but he's hitting 5 straight. And he has been on an incredible surge. When you think about this for a moment, since the start of last year, Jose Ramirez is third in the league in hits. He's third in average. He is #1 in the league in doubles with 80.
Wow. Well, we'll take one of those right now.
In the air, right field. Judge makes the catch, and Lindor has to hold 2 down.
That hit by Brantley was the first hit for the Indians when they had somebody on base tonight. And boy, he went down and hit a beautiful pitch down in the zone to take it the other way. So 2 outs now. It's going to take a hit here to get the Indians the lead.
Yeah, this is the guy that you want up in these situations. Edwin Encarnacion, through his first 37 games this year, had 5 homers and 12 runs batted in. Since then, he has homered 17 times and has driven in 52. And that's tied for the 3rd most RBIs in the American League in those last 68 games for Encarnacion. And if you want to take it even further, since the start of 2012, only Miguel Cabrera has driven in more runs than Encarnacion in all of baseball.
Well, his numbers against Robertson, not very good. Just 1 for 20 in his career. But I'd love to see him get a base hit right here. Get this crowd into it.
Fouls it off, and it's 0-2.
Back-to-back breaking balls.
Pulls it foul. Francisco Lindor led off the inning with a base hit. Brantley singled him to 3rd, but now there are 2 down. And the 0-2 pitch coming up to Edwin. He chased one in the dirt and strikes out. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. We go to the 7th, still tied at 1. The injury lawyers at Elk & Elk, proud partners of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. by the stylish 2017 Kia Optima, and by Smart Path Forward. Lakeland Community College is your Smart Path Forward. Enroll now. Oh, Andre with yet another of the baseball creations, Danny Salazar.
Okay.
Oh, it's Frankie. I'm sorry. Here's the 0-1 now to Todd Frazier. Outside. One and one to count now on Frazier, who is 0 for 2.
Good pitch. Frazier looking back like it was inside, but that was a pretty good pitch.
Frazier fouled out in the second inning, called out on strikes in the fourth. Got him. Same pitch, same result.
You're going inside again. He just rings him up, and that changeup goes in there. Angel Hernandez was sitting inside, so he liked it as that ball moves in, and Frazier sort of locked him up.
10th strikeout for Danny. And the 100th pitch of the night is swung on and fouled right back. Ronald Torres 0 for 2 has struck out and grounded out. Twelfth time in his career he struck out 10 or more. Now you look at his last 3 starts now since coming back.
He had 13. He's got 19 in the third innings to this point.
26 strikeouts and only, what, 3 runs allowed.
Yeah.
Here's the 2-2 and a swing and a miss. He threw it right by him at 96 for his 11th strikeout of the night. That equals his season high when he fanned 11 back in Chicago in April.
And he doesn't mess around. Here it comes, baby. There's the express, but it's located away, and you can see he just can't catch up to it. Couldn't get a piece of it.
That also equals his career high. And Austin Romine 0 for 2 has grounded out, and he has flied out, and he takes a breaking ball for a strike.
Well, we said it all along when Danny was on that DL, for the Indians to go and take off in the second half, they're going to need him in that starting rotation to take off. And you know what? He's done just that in his limited time now for his 3rd start. But you can't ask for anything better than what he's given you. And there comes the breaking ball. That's a rarity. His 3rd best pitch. It's a curveball, but he's ahead now 0-2. And he has a chance to end it in style if he could strike out the side, because I'm sure this will be his last inning. 13-0-2, 1-2 counts for Danny.
The 0-2. Foul right back. Danny Salazar came into tonight having averaged better than 12 strikeouts per 9 innings.
Yeah, he has always been that guy that he has a special arm.
Just a bit outside, and they count 1 and 2.
Well, the umpires in the seats wanted to call it, but it was off the dish. It was a good located heater when you're out in front.
Bloop. Foul ground. Santana can't get there, and neither could Ramirez. So Romine goes back, and he'll have another crack at Salazar. Well, remember when Danny was getting ready to make his start in Chicago, Tito made mention of the fact that he pitched well against Toronto. That was great. Now we got to see him back it up.
Right.
And then we might really start to get excited around here. Well, he has backed it up and looking to finish it off here tonight. The 1-2 pitch up and in.
You know, you're geared when you're sit up there, and in Salazar, you're sitting on his fastball, you're looking away, I guarantee it. And that one buzzed him. That came inside. That's tough to do. We'll see if he goes something soft away, his changeup.
A new season high in pitches. 2-2 fouled back.
He did. He came with an off-speed pitch, that changeup. Yeah, but you know, the first inning is when they had the danger. They had a run in, 2 on in scoring position, and he was able to get the strikeout and a fly ball to center to minimize the damage, and he's been great ever since.
Fastball blew it by him. A new career high. 12 strikeouts for Danny Salazar, and he strikes out the side here in the 7th.
Monday, the Indians are going to 2 more left here on the homestand. The Colorado Rockies coming to town for first time they've been here in a while. Tuesday night, it'll be a Wednesday noon game. Make your way down to the ballpark before the team hits the road, and hopefully the Indians will continue their win streak. There's plenty of seats remain. Go to Indians.com. That's Tuesday night, Wednesday nooner. Colorado Rockies, a team that can hit, and we've got to pay back for them. They beat us twice in Colorado.
They were playing really well then, and it's not like they've fallen off. It's just the Dodgers, no one could have seen that coming the way that LA has just run away from everybody. Carlos Santana swings at the first pitch, and a weak ground ball out, 1 down. Santana providing the Indians' only run tonight, back in the 2nd with his 16th home run of the year. We getting a pinch hitter here?
Probably. Let's see. Maybe. Yeah. I would
Bradley
think,
Zimmer?
I would think so.
Either that or Austin Jackson is tardy. We're not sure which.
No, or Abe Almonte now. But I would think Zimmer. Yeah. See, that's the rookie not being ready, maybe. Either that or he was in the cage hitting. So yeah, we're going to get Zimmer.
Zimmer will pinch hit for Austin Jackson, bringing an end to Jackson's 10-game hitting streak. He was 0 for 2 tonight. Zimmer as a pinch hitter is 2 for 9 with 1 RBI. Overall, he's batted .277 with 8 homers, 37 driven in, a dozen doubles and a triple. Chased a breaking ball in the dirt. It's
working pretty well for Robertson right now. He's able to get Santana to swing at it first pitch. Couple going to Encarnacion to get him, and there's that. Look at the bottom just falls out, and that's a swing that he didn't want to make, but now he's down the count 0-2.
Do it again. And he came right back with it. Strikes him out, 2 down. Second strikeout for Robertson. You're going to see the bottom falls out again, but he made it better. It didn't bounce this time.
You know what they do, a good pitcher, when you come back and throw that curveball and throw it over the top, you try and bounce it on the plate and not for a strike. And you get that hitter to swing over the top of it. And it was right down the middle. It had plenty of play. It just great break to it and not enough speed on it.
Robertson in his second inning of relief now faces Yan Gomes 0 for 2. And he chases the breaking ball.
Well, this offense saw a lot of curveballs from Jordan Montgomery, the left-handed starter, the 24-year-old that started this game, and they didn't have much success off of it. And now Robertson coming in, he's doing the exact same thing.
Jordan Montgomery tonight faced 18 hitters. He retired 15 of them. 7 via strikeout.
That's the token. I think that was the cutter.
Another curveball. Tops it to third. Bare hand grab and a throw by Frazier, and he got him. That's a sensational play by the Yankee third baseman, and the Indians go 1-2-3. We go to the 8th. Still tied at 1. Is presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. One as we go to the 8th inning. And the Indians go to the bullpen for the first time tonight. Zach McAllister coming on for Cleveland, making his 36th appearance of the year. A win, no losses, ERA 2.11. He's walked 16, struck out 53 in his 47 innings of work. And he's got the top of the order to deal with here in the 8th. Bradley Zimmer stays in the game and takes over in center field.
Another nice start for Danny Salazar. This is the guy you want to keep off the base right here, leadoff man, and he's going to make you work to get him out. He walked his first 2 times up against Salazar, ended up getting a base hit, so he's been on base all 3 times tonight.
That got in the strike zone. It's 2-1.
Well, he's taking all the way there just to make sure he gets in the zone. What was the book on Salazar? First time through the lineup, 32 pitches. Second time, 34 pitches. And the third time, 46 pitches. 112 for Danny tonight.
Zach McAllister was a 3rd-round pick of the New York Yankees back in '06. And he made it to AAA with New York in 2010. He was a starter that year before coming to Cleveland in the trade in which the Indians sent Austin Kearns to the Yankees. Now the 2-2. Up and away, full count. The Indians kept McAllister in that starting role until partway through the 2014 season. Three-two pitch, foul back. That Zach's first full year as a reliever was in 15 when he pitched in 61 games. He had an ERA of 3 that year with a mark of 4 up and 4 down. Then last year in 53 games, he was 3-2 with 3.44 ERA. 3-2 pitch, swung on and missed. He came back and got him.
Good job.
And I think that's the difference. That's why McAllister is having his best year as a reliever, is that whether it's confidence or command or whatever, he's able to come back and still get a guy, even if he may lose it for a couple of pitches.
Well, I'll tell you what, he came right back, and that's the out you needed right there, that leadoff man. So you put it, that first one on the board.
Chase Headley 0 for 3.
Well, and again, what you have to do now with Miller out on the disabled list coming out of that bullpen, the starters have to pick it up, which they did. Salazar, 7 innings. Guys out of the bullpen, McAllister, they're all going to have to pick up the slack for a little bit until they can get it back to normal.
Breaking ball hit in the air, deep right. Geyer's back, and it is gone. And the Yankees take the lead 2-1. Chase Headley's 6th home run of the year.
And it came on the breaking ball from McAllister. So they will take a 2-1 lead, and there it was, right middle of the plate. That one one wasn't down. It just sped up the bat and gets out of here. The Yankees lead it now 2-1.
And now Aaron Judge 1 for 3 on the night. Swings and fouls it back. Chase Headley, not a guy you're expecting to go deep. As I said, only his 6th home run of the year. And he had a 124 at-bat homerless stretch earlier this year.
Well, you just look at the location of the breaking ball. You don't question the pitch itself. The location of it, yes. It was middle of the plate, and he did what he was supposed to do with it.
Lindor throws him out, 2 down.
You know, so now it's time for the offense to come back. Here, take a look at it one more time. The breaking ball, you're going to see it is middle of the plate. And that's what the big league hitters do. You make a mistake, he was able to get him. And now Tito coming to the mound, and McAllister's night will be 2/3 of an inning and give up the 1 hit.
Left-handed hitting Didi Gregorius coming to the plate. Left-hander Tyler Olson will come on to face him when we come back. Yankees on top, and Tyler Olson coming on for the Tribe, making his 6th appearance of the year. And he'll be facing the left-handed hitting Didi Gregorius. First ball swinging. And Tyler Olson makes quick work of Gregorius. But Chase Headley's home run here in the 8th has given the Yankees a 2-1 lead. by Miller Lite. Danny Salazar, a season-high 112 pitches. Struck out a career-high 12 batters and allowed 1 run on 4 hits in 7 innings of work.
Yeah, Danny locked in another nice start. 3 straight good starts for Salazar since coming off the DL, and had it working tonight. Offense couldn't get him any support, but he kept the game intact, and now it's up to the Indians to come back and score, and they're going to have to do it against a very good New York bullpen. Dylan Betances is coming on, the big right-hander. You can see 3 and 4 at 248, 40 innings. But the thing of it is 32 walks, but 72 strikeouts. You know, if he's on, he's unhittable, but he can walk and get a little wild, so you can get base runners in a number of different ways from this guy. And he's just another one of those players which over 6'6". He is 6'8", probably the tallest of them all.
Giovanni Urshela looks at a breaking ball for strike 1.
That's that nasty slider that he has. If he's throwing it for strikes, boys, it's a tough night for the hitters. Hopefully he doesn't have the control and they can find a way to get on base. Rides a 98-mile-an-hour fastball inside as well.
That pitch missed up high. Right field, coming hard and making the catch is Judge for out number 1.
Well, good at bat by Urshela. Down on the count, and I'll tell you what, he goes the other way. That's a high fastball. He takes it the other way. Good swing. The Judge tracks it down for out number 1.
Back to the top of the order now, and Francisco Lindor, who is 2 for 3 tonight. He has a single and a double.
Frankie's had some success in the small sample size there. 3 for 4. I remember the home run was in Yankee Stadium on a high fastball.
He didn't go. 1-1.
I give it 2 hits tonight. There's a look at the side. Close, but no cigar.
Out of play. In the dirt, and now a full count.
Looks like he's trying to get Frankie on that on the slider. He knows that he got him a home run off him before on the fastball.
Three-two pitch. Yeah, and he rings him up.
And a dandy. That was an excellent slider. He didn't give in. Came right back and threw his best pitch. But when when you're trying to sit for a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, that's why this will lock you up. You got to get it started. It's 84, so you're not talking about 14-mile-an-hour difference. A good bite to it.
Brandon Guyer 0 for 3 on the night. He looks at that breaking ball for a strike. Another one. 0-2. He's led all relievers in strikeouts in each of the last 3 seasons.
You know, we were in Boston and saw Kimbrel, who's the strikeout master, and then you're coming back and you're facing this guy, and he's no slouch, huh? You look at the two of them, man. They could be like a windmill.
Oh man. Another off-speed pitch, another strikeout. Indians go in order. And we head to the 9th. 2-1 the Yankees. Live, presented by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. Alan Jensen will have the highlights and post-game reaction. It's all straight ahead. Indians trying to rally, but they'll need a 0 on the board from Nick Goody. He's got the 5, 6, and 7 spots in the Yankee order due up. And getting an opportunity to pitch against his old club. Hopefully for him it works out better than it did for Zach McAllister tonight.
Yeah, well, right now you just hope you can put a 0 on the board and get him back in. I'm sure Chapman will be up getting loose.
Biggest difference is that, you know, Zach never got to the big leagues with the Yankees. He was still in the minors when he was traded. Goody has played with some of these guys over in that other dugout. Down to Andre.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about Clint Frazier all weekend long and Bradley Zimmer, but the two guys get ready to face each other. They know each other real well. How well they played single A, double A, triple A together. And that Gary Sanchez was Nick Goody's catcher. So they know each other very well. And Gary Sanchez was even in Nick Goody's wedding party. So this is going to be a little strange for Nick. He told me that he's excited for it. He thinks he knows how to get him out, but he's going to be pumped up a little bit different than usual going against Gary Sanchez.
All right, should be fun to watch. Sanchez 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. And a good fastball, but a tad low, ball 1. And that fastball right on the outside part of the plate. Sanchez unable to get to it. Got him to chase one on the dirt.
See, this is one thing that Sanchez will do. He'll chase pitches out of the strike zone, and that's what you want to see him do. Get ahead of him, and you can get him to chase that slider down and away.
Now Goody ready. And a 1-2 pitch just threw the bat at it, and he's able to fight it off to get another pitch.
Probably fouled off a pitch that wasn't a strike, but just to stay alive.
He just bite the end of his bat.
I don't know. I've seen people smell their bats after they foul off a pitch, and I don't know why, but.
Now the 1-2. And a swing and a miss. Nick Goody gets his former teammate and good friend one down. All right, Arch.
I did not see it. Look at that. Holy smokes.
Now that's a new one. Now you know Edwin Encarnacion.
Well, look at there's a little chip in that.
He did chip into it. That is. All right, I don't have any explanation for that. But the smelling of it, I've talked to Edwin about, because he does that after foul balls, and a lot of people have been asking me. And really, it's an old, Ted Williams used to do the same thing. He asked Tony Gwynn about it, if you remember at that All-Star game at Fenway Park years ago. They say that when you foul a ball off a certain way, there's a smell that comes off of how good you have the burn. Yeah. And that burn tells you how good they did or did not hit the ball. Edwin has even said to me, that's what he does, and he says it's habit. He does it every time he fouls the ball off.
Okay.
The bat goes to his nose. Now, eating it, I got to do some research.
Well, I've never seen anybody, dip their bat. It's like that was weird.
He must be hungry.
Yeah.
Must be after 9:30. He must get real hungry.
Jacoby Ellsbury, 0 for 3 on the night, is flat out struck out, hit into a double play. Missed a bit inside with that fastball. 3, 4, and 5 spots due up for Cleveland in the bottom of the ninth. Drive down a run. Nick Goody trying to make sure it stays that way. And the 1-2. Fastball hit on the ground. Urshela cuts it off and throws him out 2 down. Looking back at our storylines brought to you by Mazda. The Danny Salazar fastball was electric tonight. He struck out a career high 12 and allowed just 1 run.
Well, how smart was that? A 6-inning game against the Yankees. They brought out their starter into the 6th, tied,
and their bullpen ERA was actually better than that.
That's exactly what they're doing, boy. It turns into a 6-inning game now.
Yankee bullpen has allowed a run in each of the first 2 games of this series. But Aroldis Chapman, boy, the last time he was on the mound in this ballpark, The 0-1 on its way to Frazier. Swung on and missed. Frazier has already struck out twice tonight. Goody deals. High fastball upstairs. And the 1-2 on its way outside. Nice block by Gomes. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's been a very good pitch game by both sides. Only 10 hits combined, each team with 5. The Yankees lead it 2-1 on a solo home run in the 8th. They scored in the 1st and the 8th. The Indians hoping to get this out and come back and score a couple in the 9th.
The 2-2. And Frazier again staying disciplined. Now full count. Two and just a tad high. Frazier just 3 for his last 26. And he draws a 2-out walk to keep the inning alive. We're right back here tomorrow afternoon when the series wraps up. Indians Live starts our coverage at 12:30. First pitch at 1 right here on Sports Time Ohio and streaming on Fox Sports Go. Carlos Carrasco going for win number 11. And Luis Severino having a very good year for New York. He's 8-4 with an ERA of under 3. Ronald Torres, Yankee second baseman, 0 for 3 on the night.
I know Frazier isn't a guy that steals. He's stolen 4 on the year, but you just have to make him stop. He's one of those guys, he walks straight behind the bag, and if you don't pay attention to him, you let him jump off and run, he'll take off. He tries to slow play you over there. So he'll actually go behind the bag, straight back. That's going down the line. Makes him look like he's, you know, maybe close to the bag and he's not even taking a lead, but watch him, he just keeps going. There you go. If you do that, there's no chance of him running.
Pop back and into the seats. It's 0-2. Now with 2 down, the 2-strike pitch. Fouled back again. Royals rained out tonight at home against Seattle. I imagine they'll try to play a doubleheader tomorrow.
Doubleheader tomorrow is scheduled, yes.
The Indians began the day 4 up on the Royals in the loss column. And again, the 0-2. No, throw to first instead. Just keeping Frazier from running loose. Struck him out. Goody fans a pair. And we'll go to the bottom of the ninth. Michael Brantley will try to start a rally for the Indians when we come back. On the mound for the Yankees. Last time he was on this mound, this happened.
Oh boy, this place went absolutely crazy. Tied the ball game up. The Plaza. Look at that.
I guess it would be human to at least have thoughts of that running through your mind. Maybe the first time you'll walk back in this building, the first time you will go out to the bullpen. I'm not saying that's going through his mind right now.
Right.
But at some point this weekend, he had to have thought back to that moment and thought, man.
Oh, sure. He'll never, ever forget something like that. And now the Indians, I'd like to see him do it with a man on base here, but they're going to have to get a base runner. They're down a run. You're going to go through the middle part of the lineup. Brantley, Ramirez, Encarnacion. Betances came on, struck out 2 in his inning of relief. And the Indians trying to keep their home winning streak alive.
The difference, I suppose, in his last 2 outings here. In that game, he was pitching back-to-back days. He hasn't pitched almost a week.
That may be better. It's all about control and command for this guy, as hard as he throws.
He's had 4 days off, put it that way. And Austin Romine unable to squeeze it, but it's still called a strike. Aroldis Chapman. Left-hander from Cuba, and he can bring it. Brantley turns it around. Base hit right field. Judge will cut it off, and Brantley is aboard to start the bottom of the ninth.
How about that? 100-mile-an-hour turnaround fastball. Good job by Brantley getting it started, and you don't wait, and you don't spot him anything if you don't have to. He knew what he was getting, and that was right down the middle. 101.
He's back in Goodyear, going up to Scottsdale.
Yeah, that's right. Let's take the 101. Well, he's on first base. That's the tying run. So now if you get that home run we just saw, it'll be a walk-off.
Well, here's Jose Ramirez, 0 for 3 on the night. And now this sellout crowd of 34,651 starting to feel something maybe here in the 9th inning. 7th sellout of the year. second straight in the series. And that is called a strike. Jose doesn't think so. It's 0-2. Edwin Encarnacion waiting on deck. And then Santana. Chapman fires and Jose fouls it off. You know, the thing I'll always remember about the home run by Rajai Davis is watching him choke up on the bat and just go short to the ball.
Well, that's what he keeps doing.
He's providing all the power on the mound.
Well, he is, but you know, Rajai never choked up during the year, but when you got a guy that throws this hard, that's what you try to do. You tell yourself to do that. Doing it's another thing. But yeah, it's a matter of just trying to get the barrel of the ball. He'll supply all the power.
In the air, left field, back is Gardner on the track at the wall, and he makes an unbelievable catch. Brantley has to turn and burn and get back to first base. Oh, Gardner leaping up against the wall in deep left center. No more room to go, and he made a clutch catch for out number one.
Oh my goodness, how close was that? Everyone thought it may be out, and I'll tell you, he hits a slider. And Ramirez, it speeds up his bat. He's looking. Gardner gets back, times his jump beautifully, and just makes a great catch. That's out number one. What a great catch. They knew it wasn't really drilled out of here, but they thought it might be off the wall. And you can see, yes, that pumps him up. Oh, so close. Very nice play by Gardner.
And so with one out, Edwin Encarnacion to the plate. Now Chapman wants a fastball away, and he threw it in off the plate. Brantley, the tying run at first, held there by Headley. And a foul back. And it's 1-1. 101 miles an hour again, and Edwin smells the burn.
See if it was a good cut. Well, he was there, but it's tough to center on a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
First, and Brantley back standing. Michael has stolen 11 out of 12. Indians trying to rally here in the ninth. Down a run, the 1-1 on its way. And Edwin swings through the breaking ball. But it was in a good spot for Chapman.
This looked like a changeup.
Yeah. Let's see, it's away. By the way, change up at 89.
I know. I mean,
but when you're throwing 100.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all relevant there. Throw 100 and go to 89. You can steal off them, but not in this situation. You got to let these guys hit. They got a chance to hit one out of the ballpark and win the ball game for you.
And the 1-2. Up and away, and I don't know how Romine caught it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he saved the day, because that very easily could have been a wild pitch and back to the screen for Brantley to get himself in a scoring position. Watch him. He's got to reach up on his backhanded side to get this ball at 100, mind you. And that didn't go into the pocket. That hit off the thumb. Might have broke his thumb.
Now the 2-2. Down low, Edwin able to lay off that slider, and a full count. Santana waiting on deck. Here's the payoff. Line drive, bloop to right, and it's caught by Torres. A diving catch in shallow right field.
Can you believe it? I really thought that was going to fall. And well, you can't really take off if you're Michael Brantley. I was thinking that may fall in and he could get to third base, but it does not. He makes a great diving catch. So 2 good defensive plays to get the 2 outs in this inning, and he had quite a ways to go to make that play. For the defense that they played in the first 2 games, my goodness, it's tightened up today, and it certainly has helped.
Yeah, as poorly as they played in those first 2 games.
Yes.
We've just seen back-to-back defensive gems.
You don't expect him to hit a ball over there in that situation. Well, the last guy opportunity to get on that fastball is going to be Santana.
Abraham Almonte has moved to the on-deck circle to pinch hit for Zimmer if Santana can keep it alive. Santana 1 for 3. He provided the Tribe's only run tonight with a homer in the 2nd inning.
Defense, outfield defense very deep, trying to cut anything off in an alley with a man on first base. Keep it in front of you. Get it in. Santana looking for a mistake.
That's low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Change up again. Santana have a great night. Hit 1 out, drive in all 3 runs, send the crowd home happy.
I think most of us, if we were going up there trying to hit a guy and we knew was throwing 100 miles an hour, you'd have every ounce of your being focused on the task at hand. Carlos is up there. You got the sunflower seeds. He's spitting them out as the ball's coming in there.
Just trying to relax. There's not much you can do about it. You just got to get in there, get comfortable, focus, and zone in.
Here's the 1-1, and it's in the dirt. Nicely blocked by Romine.
You know, and it was the breaking ball that Santana hit out back in the 2nd inning, a hanging curveball from Montgomery, and there comes the slider here. And you know, these guys know that Santana's a good fastball hitter. And you figure he would get one here in a 2-1 count.
And a high fastball. Santana swings through it, and the Indians are down to their last strike. Chapman's 2-2. Up and away and a full count. Michael Brantley will be off at first once Chapman fires it toward home. And a foul right back. And we'll try it again. Right down to the final pitch, potentially. Santana trying to keep the Indians' hopes alive here in the bottom of the ninth. With the tying run at first and 2 down. And a 3-ball, 2-strike count. Aroldis Chapman has been bailed out by his defense in this inning. And Santana fouls another pitch back.
He's putting up a terrific at-bat here. He came back after he fouled off the fastball right there, the slider. So, you know, he's throwing everything at him. Changeup, sliders, fastball. All this from a guy that's throwing 100 miles an hour. So this has been a very good at-bat for Santana. Hopefully he can end it in a positive way.
This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up right here. And Brantley getting a workout now down at first base. Again, he will take off, but he's got to make sure Chapman goes home first. Santana shoots it down the right field line. It's a foul ball.
Wow. Okay, oh so close. Stayed on that ball too. It had a little slice to it and went down into the corner. We lost track of it, of that ball, and there was another fastball, and he just put it. You see it slicing, and just foul. Okay, oh so close. He's coming back. Romine went out, talked to Chapman to see what they wanted to throw here.
Again, it's Abraham Almonte waiting in the on-deck circle now.
Boy, some kind of at-bat right here.
The 3-2. And he rings him up to end the game. Went to the breaking ball. It was up, but it got the top of the strike zone, and Santana caught looking to end it. So the Yankees hold on for a 2-1 victory, snapping their 4-game losing streak. As New York goes to 58 and 51 on the year, and the Indians are now 59 and 49 on the season. No, really, it was a well-pitched game on both sides.
Yes, it
Fun
was.
to watch both teams go at it. And in the end, the Yankees got one swing of the bat, and that's kind of been what we've seen from them so far in the series. They haven't done much offensively, but they've hit a few home runs tonight. This one is the only one that mattered.
And a breaking ball middle of the plate right there, and that's the difference in the ball game. Headley only his 6th home run, but he got a pitch to his liking. Hit one out of there, over 100 at-bats since his last home run, and that's the difference in the ball game. Well-pitched game by both sides, but that is the Pat O'Brien play of the game.
So that's it. That's all. Yankees win it 2-1. The series finale is tomorrow. Indians still have a chance to take 3 out of 4. Yankees hoping for a split before they head out of town. We'll bring it to you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Stay tuned for Indians Live. It's coming up next.